I came across this post yesterday, and I find it very interesting. Conor McGregor wants $100 million and perks for his family to participate in the UFC at the UFC White House. Now, this is very interesting. We're gonna read the article, and I want to talk about what this redemption arc for Connor truly is as it relates to the Nikita Hand lawsuit, the other one in the NBA or the NBA finals. We're gonna get to that. But first, before we get into it, if you like the video, subscribe. That's all I'm gonna ask. It uh, helps out the channel greatly. UFC has confirmed plans to host an event at the White House, and Conor McGregor wants to be at the center of it. McGregor has laid out his rather lucrative demands to be on the card, and they might give Dana White sticker shock. Oh, indigestion. In July, a UFC spokesperson confirmed that the organization was working with the White House to schedule a future event, and President Donald Trump suggests it should be set for July 4th, 2026, to celebrate the country's 250th birthday. McGregor immediately threw his name into the ring for a potential fight. Now, McGregor has taken his contract demands to social media. The Irish legend wants $100 million and fast track visas for all his family and friends to be in attendance. This is the tweet right there. $100 million to fight at the White House, along with 100 US golden visas for myself and my family and friends. Now, let's stop there. Let's stop at that first part of that tweet. You can look at it from the perspective of, well, he got accused of SA and he wanted to leave the country because he can no longer become president in that country. Or they had a normal night. She was there the entire time. Everybody was having fun. People were drinking. People were, playing in the snow. And then after the fact, the woman regretted it when she went home to her boyfriend and tried to manipulate her or him, maybe her, but he left, so he is definitely a him. She tried manipulating him into thinking that she didn't cheat. When in reality, if your woman is at a hotel for 3 days while you're taking care of your daughter, then why the fuck would he want to be with you? Answer me that simple thing. Um, but the difference here, and this is something, whatever, we know what visas are. That's how you get into America, then you apply for citizenship. Now, Conor McGregor was supposed to fight Michael Chandler back in what 20 wasn't. I mean, we can look it up here. I think it was 2021, 2022. Something like that. Connor, because yeah, they did this season of the Ultimate Fighter in that summer, and they were supposed to fight in that November, and then it was booked last year for National Fight Week. Alex Pereira then stepped in to face Yuri Prohaska for the, main event. I cannot think right now. So, when you look at Conor McGregor's career, and you can look at it from a purely martial arts perspective, right? He started off, won his amateur fight, went 4-1 in my first 4 wins. The infamous clip that's on the internet. Lost to Joe Duffy, and then racked up a win streak until getting in the Cage of Warriors, which is basically um, a European organization. That's where Paddy the Baddy came from. That's where a lot of these, guys are coming from now. Like, again, it's MMA. People train from all over the world, right? But first round knockout, submission, knockout decision over Max Holloway, which was his debut. Which, funny enough, he was supposed to fight Andy Ogle, who I barely remember. I'm not even gonna lie. But he ends up fighting Max Holloway, who right now is one of the faces in the UFC, but he got injured and he's going to be sidelined until 2026, which means he is going to wait for the layout card. That is his leverage. He has the BMF belt. That's how it works. He needs to play his hand. But after that, Brando, Dustin Poirier, he really got in Dustin Poirier's head. And that's where Conor Mania started. The crowd loved it. And then after that, Dennis Silver knocked out Trav Mendes, who only lost to Jose Aldo. He knocked him out. And then the infamous 13-second KO of Jose Aldo. Now, those of you that only have watched, recent fights of Jose Aldo, when he was in the bantamweight division, or, when he was middle of the pack, or not middle of the pack, I guess, but like leaving the featherweight division, he, I'm wait, he ended up going down to the bantamweight division when he returned, or before he left, right? Um, fought Piotr Jan, or fought Volk, fought Marlon Moraes, lost that by split decision, got knocked out by Piotr Jan, who Piotr Jan, again, won the belt, lost the belt by an illegal knee, and then Aljamain Sterling beat him in the rematch. He beat Marlon Vera, which at the time was a really good win. Marlon Vera has been a top bantamweight for a few years now. Pedro Munoz, um, another good win. Rob Font, who was in the top five for, God, 3 years, right? Um, I'm actually, I'm shocked he never fought for the title. I'm not shocked, but I am shocked at the same time. And then he fought Marab, which Marab beat him. Like, he did really good against Marab. He stuffed all of his takedowns. And then he went over to boxing, fought Emmanuel Zambrell, Jeremy Stevens, Esteban Espindola, and Jonathan Martinez. Or, not Jonathan Martinez. He came back to fight Jonathan Martinez at UFC 301. But he made decent money from these fights. and he came back to the UFC to see if he can hang with, the guys of today, right? To go against a guy like Jose Aldo. And in 13 seconds, you snap a decade long win streak. You had the entire sport by the balls. John Jones couldn't touch him. GSP couldn't touch him. Anderson Silva. I mean, Brock Lesnar, but I mean, still, Conor has done way more pay per views than Brock Lesnar. Then again, Brock Lesnar wasn't fully committed to the UFC for a long amount of time. But it definitely interests you. Because logically, you look at Michael Chandler, who was a champion Bellator, right? He, he was really good. Dude, his fight with, well, I guess his fights with Eddie Alvarez, those were fucking unbelievable fights. I would put him up there with JDS and Cain Velasquez as far as two guys who dominated each other in two different fights. I need to, if I'm remembering correctly, but they dominated each other in two different fights. But man, looking back, those are two really fucking good fights. Um, but yeah, the question is, can Conor McGregor truly commit? And what tells you about his commitment is not what he says, but the consistency that he says it. Well, let me know what you think down below. God bless you.